And I think those lawyers should have kind of argued with him or educated him a little bit more. But without any additional legal advice, he started transferring the houses. And he transferred them to himself and his siblings. And then he's like, oh, well, that triggered a tax reassessment. I didn't want to do that. So then he transferred him back into his dad's trust. The county reassessed the houses again. He's like, oh, that was a mistake. And so then he transferred him to his siblings again, another tax reassessment. And then he's like, oh, that was a problem. And then he said, hey, you guys, I'm having a tough time managing all of this. Why don't you just give me your shares, and I will then manage everything, and I'll take care of the renters and the mortgages and whatever. Then he transferred his siblings' interest back to him, another tax reassessment. This guy was moving these houses. Now they're paid for houses. They've been in the family for 50 years, 100 years, whatever. They've been around forever. The kids grew up in, one of them was the family home for the last 70 years. And we're not talking about 30-year-olds who don't know how this stuff works. We're talking about people who are in their 70s, who've bought and sold a dozen homes in California, who should have had at least an understanding that when you start transferring property back and forth, the county gets involved. It's not as simple as just, and everyone says, oh, I don't need to hire a lawyer. I can just get a deed from Google and download the form and, fill it out, the quitclaim deed, and then go down to the county and pay my $27, and boom, it's transferred. And yes, it is transferred, but without understanding the rules. And that was this guy's problem. He didn't understand the rules. And so now his property taxes, and I kind of felt bad for him. I went through the whole title history and I'm like, this was wrong, this was wrong, and this was wrong, and this was wrong. And as it turns out, his property taxes jumped $1,700 a month because these properties were dad's properties back in the 50s that he bought for pennies. And now they're worth, $900,000, $1,500,000, whatever, because they're in these very desirable neighborhoods and they've really appreciated a lot. Had he done it correctly, there would have been no reassessment, but instead he had no help, no guidance, started just, well, I can do it myself. Why do I have to hire an attorney, thousands of dollars to just do what I know how to do, which is file a quitclaim deed with the county? Well, because there's other things going on. There's other consequences. Don't fall into this trap. Even if it seems so simple, so basic, one form filed with the county, that form can cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. Oh, and by the way, now that he's selling the property and he did all of these transfers, it's not only going to impact the houses and the property taxes, but it will also impact the capital gains tax that he'll have to pay when the properties are sold. All because he